Alright, guys, welcome to another episode of the Pocho Podcast. This time it's going to be a quick one because we're going to analyze some more Pocho Mexican American action on the Twitters. So here we have some tweets from our main man, and due to the coronavirus and the overreaction of buying toilet paper in recent times from the grocery stores, we have a tweet from our good friend Rigo who says, Mexico has been experiencing toilet paper shortage since I was a kid. So Mexicans been ready for this moment for their whole life. So this is sort of saying that in Mexico you can't find toilet paper, that there's a shortage for years and years and years. Like what's going on in Mexico that they don't have toilet paper. So the point of that though is that it makes Mexicans stronger, and they're handling things. They can handle things. It's no big deal. They don't go all crazy and go and buy out all the stores for their toilet paper. And I respond saying, where in Mexico are you talking about? Mexicans have rolls in their purses or backpacks. They even sell little squares for 5 pesos when you go to the restroom. And you know, how dare Rigo insult Mexico saying that they struggle with toilet paper, even though he sort of like gives a compliment saying that struggle makes Mexicans stronger. Now, it's a you got to understand, it's just a little sly comment, a little, funny uh, comment on, Mexico's not having toilet paper, and the United States is having, some issues with everyone buying all the toilet paper off the shelves of your local grocery store. Mexico has never, really had no shortage. It's just an exaggeration, just a little joke from our friend Rigo. But it brings up a good point that a lot of times Mexican Americans or Americans or people in the U.S. may initially think that Mexico has uh, some lack of things, lack of the niceties. Maybe consider Mexico a third world country and U.S. a first world country with first world problems, where Mexico, you have the real tough life, like your internet slow, or, your shower isn't warm water or something like that, and you think, oh, in Mexico, that makes you hardened. It gives you strength to survive things. Like, we don't need toilet paper, we use leaves. And there's plenty of other comments, like in the ranch in Mexico, we use leaves or we use the rock or whatever, and we're so strong. That's how we do it down there. So it's just a joke type of thing, but it does bring a point to where in the United States, you think that Mexico, yeah, is lacking in certain things. And, you know, when Mexicans are stronger from all these supposed lack of the niceties, no one dares leave the lack of the niceties and go to, uh, to back to Mexico and, become even stronger in and raise our children, our grandchildren in Mexico to become stronger and not have these niceties and comforts that make us soft. We want to be strong and hard, but we want our children to be soft because they need the comfort of the United States. So, so yeah, here we have that my tweet. Francisco, he doesn't know what's going on, and then Ivan gives the greatest comment. He says, "Agarran ese pocho." So it's hilarious because the if anyone dares insult a Mexican or Mexico, we got to all barrage and attack. We got to swarm and we got to defend our Mexico. And so that was a funny little joke tweet. But this just goes to the culture of, Mexicans in the United States have this perspective of, I'm in the United States and it's for a reason. People are in Mexico that come to the United States, it's for a reason. Mexico may have, all these things that are there, like anything. Toilet paper is just one example. But let's say the water. I drink the water I grew up drinking the water from the faucet. I never got sick. Or Mexican taqueros, they just, they serve their tacos with their bare hands, and I never get sick. Our stomachs are so tough and strong and exposed to these germs. So it's like as if the taquero doesn't wash his hands. Keep cleanliness. uh, and it's sort of insulting, but it is sort of a backhanded type compliment to Mexicans, to Mexican culture. And one like Rigo or these types of comments would never be truly attacked because it's by someone who's of Mexican heritage, and it's just a joke in the first place as well. But it is interesting how the culture and the perspective from Americans in the United States or Mexicans in the United States look at a different life, and maybe not necessarily a lesser life, but maybe a non-nicety, non-comfortable type of life that may exist back in the old country, back in Mexico. Mexico, I have no problem with saying things. I'm defending Mexico in a lot of places, but I have no problem with, saying there are some things that aren't very nice, not very good, not very comfortable. In the United States, it goes back to this is a good argument as well. Like, Mexico is dangerous because of the narco activity. And then the defense from not just Mexicans in Mexico, but from Mexicans in the United States is like, well, the US is dangerous because everyone's shooting up schools and stuff. But you know what? All these Mexicans in the United States sure aren't leaving because everyone's shooting up schools and going back to Mexico. The Mexicans in Mexico sure aren't leaving or aren't stopping, aren't ceasing to cross the border and go to Mexico because of all these shootings in the United States. So people need to be measured, and their perspectives and their thoughts and their ideas. There's bad and good at every place. There's, great, awesome places in Mexico. And to tell you the truth, one day I hope to return, or not return, because I've never actually, you know, well, I did live there for a few years, but to return and retire and enjoy the nice life in Mexico, that will be my future. And, still have a place in the United States because this is a great country as well. So stay tuned for the next episode in discussing the culture.